Hello and welcome to EVE Online. My name is High Speed Lemo, a player within the Forest Corporation, a member corp of the Initiative Alliance. In today's video, we are talking about Mercenary Dens. In my last video, you saw me blowing up a bunch of them, and I did that mostly solo all by myself. So what's the trick, right? So with Merc Dens, there's three different things you need to know about owning Merc Dens, dropping them, where to put them and where to deploy them, but also on top of that, I know I said three things, but that's a little more, but also using them in offensive capability. So in this video, I'm going to talk about one, owning your own in your own space, which is in null. Say for instance, if I'm in it, I live in Fountain, or owning them in someone else's space and how you can use them to their disadvantage. And lastly, hunting down enemy merc dens and reaping the benefits. Let's roll that intro and we'll get right into it. One and roll intro. Alright guys, we're back and right we are in game. So let's talk about Mercenary Dens. So firstly, where do you find the menu for managing them? Well, you just reach into your top left hand corner here, go down to Industry, and right below Planetary Industry, you'll see your Mercenary Dens. As you can see, I've got none. This is because Initiative raised the fines of mismanaging your mercenary dens. If you don't manage your den well in your own space, you can start to cause issue with jump branches, antiplexes, and other essential functions and things that are needed. So we'll go into open agency here and you can actually see a little bit more about what they do. First, you're going to need your own skill training for this. You'll need to just deploy these skills here. But also, the most important thing about is deploying in your own space is utilizing a skyhook. Now, this skyhook has to be a temperate planet. So one thing you can do to find essential planets that you can be using for this is go to the Planets tab, go to Planetary Industry, which is what I typically use. I'll pick a specific region, Fountain being my current region, and then I'll look for a temperate planet only. And now I have all these planets here that I can go scout out to look for a place where I can place a mercenary den. Now, the next part about managing a mercenary den is one of the more important parts, which is managing it on a day-to-day basis. So when I go to here, so with this, you would see this in this area here. So I'm going to have to go ahead and deploy a mercenary den to finish this video, and I'll do a clip of that in just a little bit here. But hey guys, High Speed Demo here with a quick intake. So I have just deployed my first mercenary den. As you can see, the structure is kind of faded out. We went to a hostile space, so that means that this will be a hostile aggressive mercenary den. So this purpose here will be I'll be harvesting the infomorph technology from it every so often, but at the end of the day I want this to generate corruption to cause damage to this system, their skyhook and more, right? And so that being said, we were able to take over this space through hostile means. So we killed the previous mercenary den, we put a timer on it, and then another kill fleet went through later on the next day. I think it was 18 hours later, and removed the den, and now I am placing my own. It's a 10-minute timer for activation, and then the mercenary den will be fully functioning. Alright guys, as you can see, we have the official Mercenary Den thing up. So with this panel, you go to Industry, right below Planetary, Mercenary Dens. Oh, let me reopen that then. And here we are. We can see there's a 0% workforce impact. Right now, the generation rate for infomorph decryption keys is between 64 to 100 per hour. That's very low. And when we go to control levels, you see development is level 0 and anarchy is level 0. Over time, the development level will go up the longer it stays around, and the larger it goes up, the higher this rate is. Now, if this was in our space, we want to keep the anarchy level at 0 and ensure that this stays at 0% for workforce disrupted. We do this through completing the operations that are here, and it'll give us operations every 3 days. All right, that officially completes this section. Infrastructure. This is the second thing I've talked about, right? However, you're not going to want to do the missions on that hostile or that deployed in a hostile space mercenary den, as you'll then, you want to make sure you're generating corruption to nullify those existing infrastructure. Now, one other thing is defending your mercenary den. In the last video, and you can see here, I have blown up a lot of mercenary dens. Here's the deal. When your mercenary den begins getting attacked, you will get a notification. Sometimes it takes a couple of minutes, and by the time you get there, it might already be reinforced. Mercenary dens have a wobble timer, which is you have about, we have a 24-hour window with a 6-hour wobble. That means it could be 30 hours until it comes out of reinforcement, or it could be as less as 18 hours and it comes out of reinforcement. It really is somewhat random. And so with this, you're going to want to make sure you monitor it and manage your mercenary dens as they get reinforced or when you're doing the attacking. And we'll talk about that right now. When you're attacking mercenary dens, there's two things you need to know. One, you first need to put it into reinforcement. So what I typically do is I'll take a shuttle and scout out the hostile mercenaries I want to hit. Usually I'll hit a grouping of at least 3 to 4, maybe even 5 in one go. I do this so I can hopefully group together some timers so I can get some efficient kills. Now, there's a few different things you can do for this in terms of fits. Personally, I have a few different fits that I personally really enjoy using to reinforce a hostile mercenary den. If it's in close space, I will typically use a Talos that is blaster fit with polarized blasters maximized for DPS, doing around 2100 DPS. The other option is what I'll use is my personal favorite, which is my Polar Express fit. This does about 1000 DPS. It's polarized and it has some decent faction fit lowers. And this I can cloak up at any time. I do this if I'm in deeper hostile space. Now here's the trick. Once you kill the Merc Den, you now need to haul the loot out. And it does take a good amount of space. However, it is worth it. Currently, right now on market orders, I actually have some infomorph decryption keys on the market. Currently selling them for 7,000 ISK each, and that's the lowest tier. As you can see, I have quite a bit in the market that I just extracted from our last hostile deployment. With this, you can also sell them for cheaper if you really want to rush the ISK, but overall, these are essential things that are used in today's economy. So, that being said, those are some quick ways you can utilize the Mercenary Den structure for your own fun. Now get out there and blow up some dens. High Speed Limo, out.